BLOCKTV. It's time now for Chain Breakers. With the crypto data space at a critical juncture, government regulators citing lack of transparency and clear data as critical to their inability to properly regulate the space. Numerous private actors accusing the space of being run by rampant manipulation. So, in order to keep on top of the market and find out what the latest trends are, we turn over to the experts at Coingecko, and I speak now with co-founder Bobby Ong. Bobby, thanks so much for being with us.
Pleasure.
All right, so Bobby, kicking us off this week, we just need to talk about the market in general. An amazing uptrend is taking place across the entire market in the last 24 hours. Green across the board, huge growth and increases. Bobby, what can you tell us? What's the data saying?
Yeah, it's been a very bullish week in the crypto market. And as you can see, if you browse through Coingecko over here, you see that everything is green, as you said. Like out season is definitely back. It almost feels really weird trying to imagine that we are all now back in out season. If you look at Bitcoin price specifically, it's gone past the $10,000 mark. It went down slightly earlier this week, but it went back up. I think Bitcoin is very interesting in general. I think there's a couple of things that is interesting to Bitcoin. The main thing is if you look at the moving average chart, the 50 days moving average and 200 days moving average, I think what we see is that the golden cross is expected to happen sometime in late February this year. And what is this saying is that this is a bullish indicator, which means that price should most likely go up again. The last time that we saw the moving averages cross was way back in April 2019. So that was something most definitely interesting for us to see for Bitcoin. Ethereum is very interesting as well. If you look today, like the price has gone up to $250. The last time we hit this high of $250 was way back in July 2019. So that was over 6 months ago. So Ethereum has gone all the way down and then gone all the way back up again. So it's very interesting that things are turning around for the better. A couple of coins stood out this week. I would say that those two coins are Hedera Hashgraph and Tezos. So the Hedera Hashgraph launched this year, 30 days relatively recently. You see that launched not too long ago, but in the last 24 hours, it had a 115% increase in price. So the reason for the huge increase in price is because Google announced that they are now working with Hedera Hashgraph closely. So Google is basically becoming a member of the Hedera Governing Council. Google is also now running a Hedera network node, and all Hedera's network data will now be available on Google's cloud platform for people to analyze and do analytics, similar to how it used to have Ethereum data on the GCP platform. The other interesting coin that we have seen move a lot this week is Tezos. So Tezos hit its all-time high. It's now at $3.21. If you look at the all-time chart, it's way beyond even its ICO price. It's been a very tumultuous period of time for Tezos. But it's had a lot of good news recently. A lot of mainly driven at the start of the year by Coinbase and Binance supporting staking on Tezos. But in the last 1 week, it's hit an all-time high. Why it hit an all-time high? I don't really have a reason for that, but here we are. It's been an all-time high for Tezos.
There certainly seems to be some very dramatic runs taking place throughout the alt market as a whole. But Bobby, with the only clear indication for why this market is surging so much being the upcoming Bitcoin halving event, do you think this sort of growth appears sustainable in the alt market, or do you think this will be a short-lived alt season?
Yeah, I think we'll be, if the golden cross happens to cross, which we expect to cross in this week or so. I think we will be entering a very bullish period up to May 2020 or so during the halving. So I'm certainly bullish. There may be a few corrections. I think Bitcoin's up for a slight correction. If you look at the RSI indicator, it's appearing to be slightly overbought. But that's in the short-term period. I think up to May, I think we'll be in a generally upward trajectory for Bitcoin and all the other altcoins.
It certainly appears to be an exciting time there. Bobby, any sort of other particular indicators that you're watching out for in the macro market or otherwise? Anything that you see as particularly bullish sign beyond the halving event?
Yeah, so a couple other things that has moved this week was the exchange tokens. So I would first take a look at the Binance coin. Binance is $25 now. In the past 7 days, both up 41%. It's a huge increase in price. This is the same if you look at for the other coins as well. Just give me a moment. Let me switch this screen. Huobi token over here as well. It's moved in the last 7 days. It's moved up 36%. Last 14 days, about 44%. The same can be said for OKB, OK Coins exchange token. It's moved up 80% in the last 40 days or in the last 30 days. There's a huge spike recently. So I think the most interesting thing for these exchange tokens, the thing to look out for this year is that Huobi, OK Coin, OK Exchange are basically looking to launch their mainnet chain this year. So a lot of them have just recently launched their testnet. That's why the price has increased. But a lot of them will be looking to emulate what Binance has done with Binance Chain. So a lot of people are excited about the prospect of these exchanges launching their own exchange blockchain. That being said, I'm not particularly certain if this will be a very good indicator for the exchanges. Like Binance definitely have the network impact, network scale to grow and bootstrap blockchain, but I don't know too well about Huobi and OK. And those are the two biggest ones, but there are a bunch of other Asian-based exchanges such as Bitam and others are also looking to launch their mainnet chain, the blockchain. I'm not too sure, like, why would anybody want to lock themselves into an exchange ecosystem when they could have it more vibrant on an open network like Ethereum. So I think it'd be interesting to see how these exchanges play their part. For my feel is that a lot of them are just sort of copying Binance at this point in time, but I'm sure Binance has some stuff up their sleeves to keep one step ahead of the competition, but that's basically the main narrative that's driving a lot of this exchange price movement this year, I would say.
Yeah, certainly, it does seem like there's a lot of excitement back in the space, whether it's new money flowing in or the same money getting off the sidelines, starting to pay attention and invest. Certainly, there's a lot of movement out there, and as you said, Bobby, a lot of excitement for potential projects coming in the future. Well, Bobby Ong, I want to thank you so much for taking us through these key developments on this most bullish of markets that we're seeing right now. As we predicted, it looks like 2020 could still be a very exciting year to come. So make sure you stay watching at blocktv.com for all the latest news and information. I'm westropp-evans. Thanks for watching.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.